the recent rash of redundancies and job losses around Ballarat, I'm sure people will be aware of how much hardship that would deliver to those people in those sorts of exist. Because there's probably at the stage we're at the moment, with union involvement in a lot of these things is very difficult, because over a period of time there's been a lot of emasculation of the union powers, if you like, in terms of the right to strike, etc. All those things have been progressively wound down, so that there's not a lot in terms of the old context of industrial action that we can take to try and pursue matters with companies and various governments, etc. In terms of the Trades Hall, in terms of a vision for the people, or in terms of a vision for Trades Hall, our vision's always been the same, and that's always to ensure that people are productively employed and productively employed, and in terms of their employment that they get effectively remunerated for that. So there's a huge environment, a huge disparity in terms of wage outcomes for people right across, well, I guess it's right across Australia, you know, because their bargaining power in a lot of cases is diminished by the fact that we can't take substantial industrial action. All has to be negotiated through all sorts of legal arrangements now. The current government, in terms of the Braxton-Brumby government, has put huge amounts of money into the public transport system right across the state. Although it has certain degrees of deficiencies in it, where the government's recently allocated close to $5 billion, I think it's $4.8 billion, to construct a special railway line from a place called, well, it's actually through an area called Tarneit, and that railway line will run into the city on its own special isolated track. You know, the whole amount of money that's been allocated for this is a huge sum of money. It's a huge sum of money, and the benefits that are going to derive from it are marginal. Which brings me to another issue in terms of the rail service that currently exists between Ballarat and Melbourne, where we've had a significant amount of money spent on that over the past 2 or 3 years, which was Mr. Braxton's fast rail project. In real terms, it only delivered one train, which ran at an hour. In terms of the construction of it, really it was just a development or a necessary infrastructure improvement of the existing track. It needed to be done anyway. It hasn't been thought through really well, and I'll give you a demonstration of that, or an example of it, I should say, by the construction of the Wendouree station, where it doesn't offer availability of train services to all the people that live in that area. It's significantly tied to only a certain number of trains that can feasibly travel to that station during the course of the day. And that's unfortunate, because the construction cost of it was almost $20 million. It doesn't do much more than what the existing bus service does. If I could go back to the Maikey situation, where there's currently been close to $1 billion spent on this, and when it eventually operates, it will be a disaster. If it hasn't already been a disaster. Just in closing, that was a point I wish to address at this meeting, over the disparity between the amount of money that's actually been spent on these types of projects, which are not going to deliver anything significant except for a huge hole in their revenue.